Okay. Geeta, you are our advanced member. You don't have to attend these classes, but you're most welcome to stay. Okay? Right. Okay. Yeah, so it's just about 9 p.m. Let's get started with the no problem, Geeta. You don't have to ask. Sorry. Okay, so we'll just get started with the class right away. I will not take too much of time, but just for the benefit of whoever is taking this class for the first time, I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm also going to tell you how this class is going to go. Right now, this is going to be a 1 hour class, and I will keep it as crisp and as valuable as possible. I will not beat around the bush and give you information that you already know, right? So make sure you wait until the end, because if you may be tempted to leave or do something else or watch something else on YouTube. But I suggest that if you stay until the end, you will definitely gain as much as possible. Yeah. And also, I know that all of you are sincere students, all of you are here to learn because you have definitely taken the time out, and that indicates that you are a sincere learner. But there may be students who just want to fool around and all of that. You can please, maybe if there is some student like that, they can just leave right now, right? So I'm not going to encourage any irrelevant or hate comments in this class towards me or towards any other member. Okay, next about me, we got started in 2018 and we are mostly into IELTS coaching. So we also do a little bit of university admissions, helping students choose university based on their IELTS score and all of that. And we are channel partners of IDP. Yeah, which means we also get updates about the exam through IDP, and we also book exam dates by being a partner of IDP. Right, that's how it works. And we also active on social media platforms. All of you might know our Instagram and YouTube handles. Now, if you're not, please make sure you follow us there on the two platforms. You will receive alerts, lessons, quizzes, insights on all sections of the IELTS, including your basics such as grammar and vocabulary. Okay, and I'm also active on Telegram. Now, on Telegram, it's mostly just sharing alerts and updates, and the group is just restricted to only that. And if you are someone who wants to receive those alerts, this is the group. So just search for IELTS Grassroots Education on Telegram. You will find us there, right? And you can join the channel right away. And on Instagram, this is how we look like. On YouTube, this is what we look like. So apart from the live class that you're seeing right now, we also organize other live classes on YouTube. They're called guided newspaper classes. And I also send out lessons throughout the week. I send out lessons in a way that they are understandable and on concepts that are mostly problematic to students. All right. So you will not find basic lessons telling you the format, exam format, and all of that. All my lessons address a very specific concern. Okay. So you might go check out my YouTube channel in case you want to learn on problems like writing task 2, on problems like speaking or reading or even vocabulary. Okay. Okay, so with that, let's get started. Now, I will also talk about my advanced programs here, and these advanced programs are slightly priced higher than what you see here. I will talk about them at the end of the class, right? And I'm also about to reveal something that we're going to do tomorrow about these advanced programs, but at the end of the class. So make sure you stay until the end in case you want to know what that update is. Yes? Okay, so about today's topic, which is writing task 2. And this is the question that I'm going to discuss. Now, you guys here, please tell me if you know the format of an essay, if you know how to write an essay. Just give me a yes or a no on the chat. Tell me whether you know or you don't. Right. Okay. Hi, Jalpa, Akash, Divya, Annie, everyone else. I want to know if you guys are aware of the pattern of an essay. Are you guys aware of the structures that you should follow. Okay. Okay. Good that you guys already know it. Nice. Okay. Okay, Divyani, Vijayan, Vedanti, Archana, Geeta, you guys already know. All right. Okay. All right. Anyone else who wants to answer that question for me? I'm assuming the others don't know how to structure an essay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So so let me tell you how your this is how your question looks like, and how generally an essay should be written is this. Now, any IELTS writing task 2 essay will always have an introduction and a conclusion paragraph, and you will have a couple of body paragraphs at least explaining what you think is the answer. Now, that's the general structure. In case some of you are hesitating to tell me that you don't know the structure, this is what it is, right? And generally speaking, you're given 40 minutes to complete the entire task, complete an essay, and you're expected to write 250 words in an essay, at least 250 words in an essay. Now, it does not indicate that if you write more than 300 or 350 words, you get a higher band score, or if you just touch about 250 words, you're going to get a lower band score. It does not work that way, right? Now, how exactly are you scored? And let's look at that with respect to this question. And now is when I will need responses from all of you, because I remember I told you that I want to do idea generation. That's exactly what I'm going to do now. Okay. And you will understand the importance of this exercise when you actually look at a sample answer. Yeah, all right. So let's get started, and let me tell you how you are actually scored in an essay. It's very simple. There are 4 criteria that you are scored on. Four criteria or 4 rules that you're supposed to fulfill if you have to score a band 7 or above. Now, I'm sure you know what band 7 means. That's the score requirement generally that any institute, or if you're applying for a PR, that's the general score requirement. Now, you may have a lower requirement as well, say band 6 or 6.5. You may have such requirements as well. Now, it's important for you to know how much you have to score in the writing area. That's something that you have to know. I need not tell you that. And if you don't know that, go check your university requirements, or go check how much you need for applying for a PR. Okay, but it's usually a good score to achieve in the writing area is band 7 out of 9. Okay, you're scored on a scale of 0 to 9. Yeah, but how exactly is this score divided, and how do you reach a band 7? Yes, I told you the basic structure that you should follow. Now, is that enough? Is that enough for you to score a band 7? Not really. It's, to put it simply, you have to make sure that whatever idea you write, okay, whatever your answer is, in this case, whatever your answer is, you have to make sure that there is a clear cut answer to the question. Now, what is a clear cut answer? Can you guys help me here? What is a clear cut answer? When I say what is your opinion, what do you mean by clear cut answer? What do they mean by that? Can you just type that here on the chat? Yes. Let me know, please. What do you mean by clear cut? Okay. That will be Vijin. That's not really not deep. I mean, that's also clear cut, but yes. Yes, you are direct to the point. You are properly answering the question. You are making sure that whatever you're saying is understandable. By that I mean, whatever your opinion is here, you may want to think government is responsible. You may want to think people are responsible. Whatever you or both are responsible, you can have any opinion. Now, remember the poll that I gave today morning? I told you this that should you structure your answer by choosing one opinion and giving two reasons, or should you be doing both cases, opposites of each other, and then giving reasons as to why you have that opinion? Now, actually speaking, both are correct. Go check my Instagram or Telegram or YouTube, the quiz that I sent. Go check that out. I asked you this question: should you choose one answer and write two reasons why you support that? Or should you write two different reasons, two contrasting ideas, and tell why you support both of them? Now, both are correct. There is no right way of writing an answer. Yeah, which is why most of you voted for option A, saying give two reasons as to why you support government, or give two reasons as to why you support people. You may also think, why can't I write government and people together and say, and write one paragraph on this and one paragraph on this? Now, that's totally allowed. You can do that as far as you're clear with your opinion. By this, I mean, with respect to this question, which asks you who is responsible for reducing the consumption of sugar, you can be, you can say it in the introduction clearly, saying government and people are responsible. You have to put that clearly in the introduction. Now, that's what I mean by clear-cut answer. Okay, you might think government is responsible. Should you write that? Yes, you should write that clearly in the introduction. And this counts for a band score requirement called task response or task achievement. Now, that's the criteria that you need to fulfill. But is that it? Is it enough if you're just clear with your answer? No, not really. You also have to be clear with your explanation to the answer. What is explanation now? Now, you might support government and say government is the only entity that's responsible. You might say people. People only are responsible. Why can't I control how much sugar I can eat? It's easy, right? Or you might want to say government is responsible. They establish rules, they establish policies, they are responsible. You may be confused. Sometimes you may think both are responsible. Both together can kind of bring down the amount of sugar that's taken in, whatever that is. But your explanation to that idea or reason has to be clear. Okay, all right. Now, what is meant by clear cut? So when is it clear? When is it explained well enough? And when does the examiner understand that, okay, you can score a band 7 in task achievement? When does that happen? It's simple. Now, you support it with an explanation. Okay, let me ask you this question now. And by now you've read this question more than once, twice, thrice, all of that has happened. So let's not getting into explaining the question, right? You're smart people. Tell me one explanation. Okay, I'm asking you a very specific question. One explanation to the fact that government is responsible for reducing the consumption of sugar. Can you think of a possible explanation to this? So how does government intervention help? Can you tell me that? On the chat box again, all of you? Yeah? Okay, whatever your opinion is, Gayatri and Jalpa, you can use anything. As I said, tell me one explanation to telling me why do you think government is responsible for this? Why? Okay, Anagha, good. Now you guys can also select all panelists and attendees if you're taking this class on Zoom. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. Some of you feel good. Good. Palak, Shweta, Abhishek, and Anagha. Nice. Okay. So the point that you guys are trying to make is government has the power to put those rules in place. Government has the power to change whatever is the status quo now, right? They have the ability to do that. They are in the power to change anything they want to, correct? So that's why government should play a role. Now, let's get deeper with the idea. You said government has the power to change anything they want to. Now, what happens if government intervenes with sugar production or sugary drinks production? And can you think of one example or one particular sugary drink that's produced in immense quantity and has the power to come down to zero with government's intervention? Can you think of any sugary drink? I mean, you can certainly give me this answer. Yes, any sugary drink that is being produced at a mass scale right now, at a huge scale right now. And if just one rule can close that company down and close its operations in a certain country. Yeah? Okay, fruity, all right, Coca-Cola, yes. Anybody who has an answer? Okay, chocolates, no, sugary drinks. Geeta, sugary drinks. Yes, all soft drinks, Limca, Minute Maid, all of that. Yeah, let's see. Good, Deeksha, nice. You're getting to the point. You're getting, okay, Jalpa, nice. Yes, basically all soft drinks. Now, imagine the amount of production that's happening on these soft drinks. And if the government puts a restriction on that, the people sugar that people consumes will probably reduce by 90%, or maybe not 90, say 70%. You can certainly use these explanations in your answer. Now, whatever you thought, whatever situation you thought as to what happens when government intervenes in producing these sugary drinks, what will happen? People will start consuming less sugar automatically because there are lesser such drinks in the market. And when there are lesser such drinks in the market, people will consume less sugar automatically, right? They're forced to do that. They're forced to lead a healthy lifestyle. Don't you think this explanation is good enough? Do you think so? Yes. Is it good with the example that you just gave me? Good enough. It's enough for you to, yes, complete that idea and give a good explanation to that idea. Now, this is exactly what is task achievement. That's it. Okay. And you giving a logical explanation to that idea is coherence and cohesion, right? Basically, making sure that whatever you want to say about government is clear, and that is followed up by good explanation. That is coherence, which is your second criteria for scoring well in the writing section. So what was the first one? Is task response, answering the question clearly, answering the question in a detailed manner. That's one. Second is for you to give a logical explanation to your answer. Okay, great. Now moving ahead to something else. Now, what is exactly cohesion? That's also a requirement for you to score well in your writing section. Okay, somehow people who are testing your language skills also feel that you should have this ability to establish good connections between and within your answer, right? Between paragraphs and within a paragraphs, you should have this ability to establish connections. Now, what is exactly this establishing connections? What do I mean by that? Do you mean that you should forcefully choose an idea and then write another one and say, okay, I've connected two ideas? No, that's not what I mean. It can be as simple as writing an example using the word such as. It can be as simple as using a pronoun, saying these drinks, the production of these drinks can be stopped if government intervenes, right? These are also considered ways of establishing connections. Now, you may also want to contradict something. Whereas the government is responsible for this, people are also responsible for consuming or control of consumption of sugar. Now you are contradicting here. So here you are connecting with the previous idea by establishing a contradiction. You're also allowed to do that. Okay, so anything, anyway, whatever you do, you make sure that your connections are logical and you are establishing them. Right now, this may seem like a theory in your head right now, but when I move on to show you the sample answer, you will understand what I mean. Okay, all right. Now, those are the two band score requirements. I mean, if you do well here, you will be able to score a 7 in your writing test. Okay, moving ahead to the rest of the two criteria. What are they exactly? One is vocabulary and grammar, right? One is vocabulary and the second is actually grammar. Okay. Now, what do I mean by vocabulary and how do you reach a band 7 there? That is also important for you to know, but I will get there when I talk about the answer. Yeah, I cannot tell you about vocabulary without showing an actual example. I cannot talk about grammar without actually showing an example of how sentences should look like. But having said that, it is important, extremely important for you to make sure you're working on the two skills every day. You are reading every day, you are listening every day to English, and also you're learning grammar actively every single day. And you may find me talking about this repeatedly in whatever class I take, in whatever video I make, in whatever query I answer to you. You might find me just talking about this. Okay, I cannot emphasize this enough. Without actually exposing yourself to the language, you cannot expect yourself to become a band 7 scorer. Yeah, that cannot happen. Miracles don't happen. And we're not native speakers to be naturally using these words as and when they come, and we cannot naturally be aware of the grammar rules that are there. Right? You have to take an effort to learn those rules. You have to take an effort to learn new words every single day. And you are the best judge here. Are you doing that? Without actually doing that, you cannot expect any trainer to take you from a 5.5 to a band 8. It's not possible. Okay. Yes. All right. So enough questions answered about how you should handle vocabulary and grammar, and enough advice given on that area. So, but are you now clear about how you are scored and generally how the structure of this answer will look like? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. Vijay, Anaga. Nice. Okay. Okay. Good. Jalpa, Diksha, Agavi, Gayatri, Annie. Nice. Nice. Palak. Okay. Yes. Great. Okay, so some of you may find that this class is a little advanced. Now, I'm not focusing on things that you already know. Excuse me for that. And if you have trouble understanding the basics of the writing section, I have done a video or maybe even a live class on all the basics of the writing section. It's called All About Writing an Essay. Okay, that's the masterclass. You may want to go ahead and watch that class and then come back and watch this class again on YouTube. Okay, right. So let's move ahead a bit and let's talk about how paragraphs should be written and how your sentences should be sequenced. Okay, right. Now, before I get there, quickly tell me, what do you think? What is your opinion? Do you think both are responsible? Do you think government is responsible, or do you think people are responsible? Which is your answer? Please tell me. Okay. Okay. Vishal, yes, that was my point. Do you think both are equally responsible, people or government? Most of you say both. Okay. And this should be coming from you, right? Don't look at others' answers and say, oh, looks like a convenient answer. Let me write that. That can't happen, right? It should be your answer, guys. Remember. Okay, nice. Both are responsible. You genuinely feel that both are equally responsible. Okay, correct. Government, some of you feel. Okay. Let's see. People, Neha. Okay, Archana, people. Okay. Next, anyone else who wants to? People are responsible. Devyani feels. Okay. 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 Good. Okay, Tinza, Shweta. Nice. Right. So you have your answer right now, and I'm going to keep it very simple for you. Okay. If you have to write this essay, you will firstly mention what the opinion is in your introduction, right? Your introduction will have the opinion put very clearly. You will change the question statement slightly and indicate what your opinion is, and this will make your answer clear. This will set the foundation for your answer, right? What do I mean by paraphrase here? You're going to change this or these question statements in such a way that you don't alter or change their meanings, right? By this I mean you're going to use different words for certain words here. Now, let's see how many of you can help other students, or how many of you can write an introduction just by looking at the question. So, how can you change sugary drinks? Can you really change that to something else? No, sugar is like a chemical term. You can't do anything with it, you can't do much with it. You can maybe say drinks containing sugar, right? Or beverages containing sugar. Sugary beverages also is a good word. What about harmful? How can you really change harmful there? Can you tell me? Hazardous, okay. I'm talking about harmful right now. How can you exactly change harmful? Okay. Can you guys give me other words for harmful now? Detrimental, okay. Not good for health. Toxic, okay. Noxious, no. Surbhi, keep it simple. Hazardous, Rishikesh, okay. All right. Destroy, no, destroy is not an adjective. It is a verb, right? Destroy is a verb there. You were talking about an adjective. Anyway, detrimental, good word. Hazardous, way too advanced. Or maybe toxic, I think is good. Yeah, dangerous, unhealthy, all these are good ones. Yes, balanced. Yeah, correct. Injurious is physical injury, Shweta. It's not the same as harmful. Okay. Yeah, let's move ahead. So you're going to change these words yourself. What about responsibility? Think. All these are words that you can change too. Yeah. So how do you change responsibility now? Or how do you change restrict and curb? Just give me quick words that you can at the top of your head think and tell me what can the words be. Just try answering my questions, Agavi. We're talking about writing now, okay? Yeah. Duty, okay. Duty is accountable. Authority, okay. Role, nice, Nisha. Good, very good. Good ones. Now let's move ahead. Restrict and curb. How do you change them? Both mean the same. Restrict or curb. How do you use a different word there? Ban, okay. Stop, all right. Another word, better words, Shweta. Okay, quickly. You have very less time to think. Remember, essay 40 minutes, and you have probably only a minute to think about what words can come in the introduction paragraph. Okay. Discourage, that's nice. Obligation, not really. Restrain is okay. Limit is fine. Good. I think prohibit, limit, ban, restrain, all these are great words. Yeah, even probably discourage is also good. Control is also good. Nice one. So this is what I meant by changing the introduction sentence and writing it in your paragraph. This is what I meant, and including whatever your answer is. That's what will come in your introduction paragraph. Okay, moving ahead to your body paragraphs. Now, remember what I said in the beginning of the class? You have to write at least a couple, two body paragraphs have to be there. And this totally depends on what your opinion is. Do you think governments should take this initiative, or do you think both, or do you think people? You may have any of the three opinions mentioned here, right? So if it's people, both the paragraphs will be talking about just how people are responsible for this. But if you think governments are responsible for this, both the paragraphs will talk about or give two reasons, one reason each about why government is responsible. If you think both are responsible, one will talk about people and the other will talk about government, right? This is how you're going to split your two body paragraphs. Now that this is done, remember the answers that you had given me. Remember the explanation that you had given me. That's going to come in your body paragraphs. Okay, that's the structure. Now, and at the end, in your conclusion paragraphs, you're going to summarize your reasons as to why you supported these opinions. You're going to change that a bit and then write it in your conclusion. But the point is, you will never change your opinion there. You will include your opinion, the same thing that you said in the introduction. Okay, yeah, so that's how your essay will look like. Now let's look at some reasons as to why why government is actually responsible for bringing down the consumption of sugar. So you said government has the power to regulate supply, right? That's what you said, and you gave an example of a sugary drink company that if implemented or if forced with policies, can actually reduce its production by half or more than half, and that can actually reduce the consumption of sugar in people. Correct? So that's what you said in one paragraph. Now quickly tell me, what do you think about people? How do you think people can be held responsible for this, and how do you think that is going to help? Quickly tell me. Okay, that's nice. Nice to know. Okay, Nagarjuna, Rishikesh, good ones. Quickly tell me how people are responsible. Why people are responsible for this? Please tell me. No, why? Why do you think I, as a human, should not depend on the government and take an effort to reduce the consumption of sugar eating? Why should I do that? Why can't the government do it? If you believe that people should be held responsible for reducing the consumption of sugar, why is that? Quickly tell me. Okay, you think people have the ability to control themselves. Okay. You also think that people have the power to influence production. Okay. What about the others? They have to read the contents before buying it. I mean, they can at least do that. Correct, Geeta? Good one. You have to become a customer who is aware. You cannot get influenced by advertisements, but you're giving me explanations, guys. You have to give me reasons as to why people should take that effort. Okay, you said why governments can take that effort to reduce sugary drinks. Now, my question is, do you think people should take the initiative to reduce the consumption of sugar? That's my question. Why? Why do you think people should do that? It's for their own health. No, Nisha, you're not getting there. You're not able to understand the question. The question is very simple. Do you think people should take the initiative to reduce consumption of sugar? You said yes. Why? Why should they take the responsibility? That's my question. Now, remember, if you don't answer my question correctly, you might end up writing a wrong answer, which is why always ask yourselves these questions. What am I supposed to write? What are my ideas going to be? How am I going to explain these ideas? That's how your thought process should be. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Deepak, Agvi, Rishikesh, Nagarjuna on YouTube, guys. You can also give me responses. Yeah. Why should people, when you add 1 teaspoon of sugar, why do you think you should be conscious about it? You guys are not getting there. Very few people are able to understand what I'm asking. They are dangerous, Palak. They are addicted to it. They should be concerned about their health. But why should people take that initiative? And very few of you answered. There's only one possible answer to this question. It's just that, yes, it's just this. People are responsible for their own health. That's the reason. People should be concerned about their own health. And secondly, people have the capacity to change a lot of decisions that governments take. Now, people reduce the consumption of sugar, they will obviously reduce the production of such sugary drinks, correct? Yeah, people have the power to spread awareness, and it's your personal responsibility. Now you're getting to the answer. It's your personal responsibility to, yes, to take care of your own health. And you know the side effects. Devi Krishna says, you know the side effects. You might as well be away from such sugary drinks. Correct? Yes. Nice. Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, unless you do this, okay, whatever you did right now, unless you do this, you listen to me very carefully. We're done with idea generation. Okay, you've passed that stage now. You're going to write down these answers. You're going to write down paragraphs. Okay, so that's where you are at. Imagine yourself sitting in an exam hall. But unless you actually do what I asked you to do, and unless you do it correctly by reading your question once again and analyzing it, unless you actually do this, you will never be able to write a correct answer, and you will end up somewhere shifting from what is required. Okay, and you will definitely 90% of the time end up losing your score just because of this mistake. Okay, and if you've seen stories of people telling you that writing just does not come to me, I've been a 6.5 in writing, this is my problem, writing is my problem, somehow I just scored 6.5, all the other sections are okay, this is a problem. You're not doing enough and accurate idea generation. Only when you understand the requirement of the question can you actually think of relevant ideas. Okay, right? So the next time, instead of looking for samples on the internet, the next time, instead of looking for ideas or templates or words, all of that, the next time what you will do is sit with a writing task to question and think about possible answers, just like what I have listed down here. And once you do this, writing a body paragraph will not be a problem at all. Okay, okay. So let's move ahead to see how paragraphs should be written. I told you how how you should write the introduction paragraph. You should repeat the question statement and keep the opinion in short. And my opinion for the essay is that both these groups, government and people, both are important. Okay, and I'm going to write about why government should take the initiative in one paragraph and why people should take the initiative in the other paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to have an introduction. I'm going to have one body paragraph talking about why government should curb the use of sugar, and the second body paragraph will have why people should curb the use of sugar. And my conclusion will have the reasons justified again, along with whatever my opinion is. Okay, so let's get to looking at my answer. This is what my introduction sentence is. Now, I changed drinks to beverages containing refined sugar are considered detrimental for health, harmful for health. For the same reason, it is believed for the same reason. Now, remember I told you connections, establishing connections. This is what I meant. Same. You are not writing the entire text again. You're giving a reference somewhere and saying that this is your reason for the same reason. Okay, that's called establishing connections. It is believed by some that government should act upon the issue, in contrast to others who think individuals themselves should be held accountable. Should act upon, should be held accountable. Responsibility. Okay, now coming now to this is about the question statement. I have just changed the question statement and written it down in different words. Moving ahead to what my opinion is. I said this is my opinion. I think the initiative to reduce consumption of sugar should come from both the entities, both government and people. That's it. That's my opinion, right? Okay. So this is how you mention your answers clearly. Now, is this clear to you? Introduction, no problems at all? Yeah. You will not write more than anything what's required, Vishal. So basically just changing your question statement and writing down your opinion. Just that, nothing else. Yeah. So there's no ideal word count to achieve. You can never have such a way of writing down an introduction. All of you are clear? Okay. Brahma is clear, Geeta, and everyone else who's here. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Good. And what about the audience on YouTube? I also hope you guys are clear. Okay. Great. So let's get moving to our body paragraphs. How do you start your body paragraphs? What is the ideal way to start a body paragraph? This is exactly what it is. Your ideal way is to indicate what the reason is. What your reason is here, as in governments should regulate the policies of sales of products containing refined sugar. Now my answer is that I'm putting my main idea in the first sentence of the two paragraphs. My second body paragraph has people. So apart from the government, people should inherently take that effort. That's my first sentence here. This is how you always make it a point to write down your idea in the first sentence. Okay, once that is done, then you move on to giving your explanations. Your explanations can either be through examples or with general explanation to the idea. Now, I have written an example saying that, or giving an example of Coca-Cola, as you guys said, which kind of produces so many sugary drinks, and it itself as a company let out an ad saying Coca-Cola is harmful, don't buy Coke, and it has so many harmful ingredients, there's nothing that's beneficial to your health. All of that came as an ad, but it still did not steer any change. It did not drive any change across the world. And this happened some time back, a recent advertisement. But if there was a restriction enforced by the governments, by each country that produces Coca-Cola, manufacturing companies would also regulate their production. Right? So if Government of India establishes that rule that you cannot produce more than so many liters, you will definitely be producing less than that. And this will not just bring down the consumption of sugary drinks, but it will kind of forcibly have people follow a healthy lifestyle. That's the power of government's policies. Now, this is how you explain. You write your main idea, indicate some evidence that supports that idea, and explain that evidence clearly. That's it. This is all you do in your body paragraphs. Moving ahead to the next body paragraph, same thing. Now, what can I do as a citizen? What can I do to reduce consumption of sugar, and how or why should I be doing it? It's simple. Now, most major cities in India have a lot of supermarkets, and people still buy to choose to buy these beverages, either because they want to display that they can buy that beverage, or because they just want to gain energy as a shortcut. They don't want to resort to natural means. They don't want to eat a fruit instead. They think buying fruit juice that's made in a manufacturing facility is good for them, right? Or it just is an easy or maybe a healthy option to whatever lifestyle they have. So they think it's that. And people are definitely aware of the consequences of more consuming more such drinks, but they still consume that. And these steps can actually result in long-term diseases. So individuals themselves have the power to change their own decisions, right? So they should weigh or gauge the short-term benefits that they're having versus the long-term damage that they're doing, right? Without on just depending on the environment, the benefits and the drawbacks. You draw that line and say, okay, I'm not going to buy these drinks anymore. You draw that line, and individuals have the power to do that. Mindset, basically, change in mindset. If you can just do that inherently, as in on your own, you will be able to influence a change in consuming sugary drinks. This is how you explain. Now, this is my second idea, and I've also followed it up with an explanation. Okay, so by now, I hope you understand what it takes to write a good body paragraph as well. So, are you clear? And remember, I told you about connections, I told you about vocabulary, I told you about grammar. I haven't talked about that yet. And I hope you're noticing these things apart from, as in, I'm adding information there, adding connection with the earlier paragraphs. Despite being aware of this, what this? Consuming sugary drinks is harmful. So I'm establishing connections here with the earlier sentence. Such beverages, sugary drinks, that's the reference that I'm making, right? These steps, as in choosing to purchase that, okay? Long term, such as diabetes. I am giving an example here by saying diabetes is a problem, okay? And without, yeah, I think that's it. So these are ways that I established connections. You can do that with your answer as well. You don't have to consciously think about such words, or you don't have to consciously use these pronouns. You will automatically do that if you know how to write well. Okay, so did you now get it? Did you now understand what I meant by establishing connections? And then I will talk about vocabulary. Yeah. Inherently means on my own. If I inherently take the effort on my own, that's what it means, Vishal. Okay. And all the others are clear? Good, Geeta, Anaga, Shweta. What about the others? All of you are clear? Yeah, good, wonderful. Gauge, weigh, measure. Devi Krishna. Okay, great. So now that you have understood the structural part of an essay, let me tell you how you can write good words. Now, you may be wondering, I have no idea about what these words mean. I came across them for the first time today, or I know these words and I know their meanings, but I somehow can never think of myself writing such sentences. Now, if that's what you're thinking, if that's what you're worried about, this is what you should be doing. And I may be giving a lot of advice. I know taking advice is not very pleasant, but take this advice, okay? Read newspapers every day. Make sure you're reading one article at least, and that too written either by the editorial section, someone who is really good with the language. Such articles, you make sure you come across them every single day. And without you realizing them, you will see that the article itself is influencing a certain way of writing and speaking within you. Okay. And also, you make sure you listen to a lot of powerful speeches, a lot of opinionated speeches, not the kind of news that you see on TV. I don't mean to say that. Okay, I know there are a lot of strong opinions expressed there, not political opinions, right? Opinions basically on issues on how certain issues can be solved without actually pointing fingers at people. That's what I mean. Yeah, so you will find such content on YouTube. Just look at different speeches, just look at different interviews, conversations between people. Try looking at that, right? That influences the way you write, and it will also give you a knowledge of good words. Now, don't expect yourself to reach that level of band 7 without actually taking this effort. Okay, so in short, what should you do in order to reach band 7 in vocabulary is just this. You should be able to use a lot of different words for a certain word without repeating it. You should not be making spelling mistakes. And thirdly, you have to use some good vocabulary. You have to display that. And this is required for you to reach a band 7. Right? And of course, the last part, learning grammar cannot be overlooked. Right? Again, on my YouTube channel, I have done 3 video lessons, to be precise. More than that, in fact, there are also some live classes on grammar concepts that you can make use of. Please go through them if you think you have no idea about grammar. Yeah, so that's about your scoring criteria. That's about writing a body paragraph. Now let's move ahead in telling you how you will write the conclusion. Okay, now your conclusion is very simple. It's as simple as your introduction paragraph. So you're just summarizing content, and I mean, you're just telling that you're summarizing the entire content. You're telling what your opinion is, okay, and why these changes or why these steps are important. Okay, that's how your sentences should be written. Got it? It's very simple. You just include your opinion and tell why this opinion matters, or what happens if this happens. That's it. What happens if policy level changes are there, and what happens if self-control measures are there come from an individual. As simple as that. Yeah. All right. So now, did you understand how you should write an essay, how you should generate ideas, what you should do to score a 7? All 3 pointers, have I checked all 3 boxes? Yes. What I didn't teach you though is how important grammar is. How many types of opinion essay? You can't really define them, Shweta. Any type. They can either ask you to choose a view out of 2. They can either ask you to agree or disagree. They can either ask you to discuss 2 views and then give your opinion. So it can be anything. Okay. Okay. Now, any questions you have here, quick questions that come from the top of your head, anything. If you mark this essay, what score would you give? Probably an 8 each in task achievement and coherence and cohesion, Japjot, and a lexical resource will probably be a 7, and maybe grammar again an 8. So it comes to about 7.5 to 8, Japjot. Yeah. Okay. A 7 in lexical resource, because I believe certain sentences could have been shortened, certain words or sentences were there just as a redundant sentence. Now, this could have been written differently, is what I felt. And also, yes, that's it. Other than that, I believe this is a good essay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Any other questions that you have? Quickly, because I want to talk about tomorrow with you guys. Can we compare 2 opinions in 1 paragraph? Rishikesh, that will become too unclear, right? You were not defending one idea clearly. That's how it will seem. Yes? Okay. Nothing. When I give you the chance, you don't ask me questions. Okay, anyway, no problem at all. Now that's it about today's class. I'm just going to talk about tomorrow for a while. So if you're interested in knowing about my advanced programs or how my evaluations happen and what my prices are, you can stay back. Otherwise, I'm done with the class. Okay. So basically, whatever I taught you right now, right, is how I teach the writing section over a span of 2 days. Yes, so one day I just do the basics, telling them exactly how the exam format looks like, how different essay types look like. And the second day, I'm doing a lot of idea generation practice. The other 2 days in the writing week will be based on how task one looks like. Okay, so that's how I teach the writing section, and this is how I teach every other section as well. There are a few concepts that I cover in a live class, and then I follow it up with practice. So, apart from these live classes, apart from the practice that I just told you, you also get to interact with me on your doubts, on how your preparation is going, on what you should be doing specifically to handle, your preparation or your weaknesses. And apart from all of this, you get access to the video lessons that are there on the app. Now, the video lessons exactly tell you how you plan your answer, how you structure your answer, basically specific insights without the frills of, let me help you with this, let me help you with that. Without all of that, this is how the video lessons on the app look like. And last but not the least, you have access to evaluations on speaking and writing, and you also get access to mock tests in the two sections, right? As in the two sections of listening and reading. So the programs look something like this, right? And let me just show you the slide deck. Yes. So the program looks something like this. You have evaluations ranging from 2 to 30. That's how the evaluations look like. And you also have mock tests on listening and reading tests. You get 10 full mock tests in both the sections. Okay. And let me just show you how these programs look like. And let me also show you the prices. Yeah. Let me share my screen here. Yes. Okay, here you go. So I remember I said you get 2 evaluations, you get 10 or you get 30 full evaluations on writing and speaking combined. And here you get full length mock tests in listening and reading. And you also get live classes, you get practice sets, and this is the validity of the program. Okay, and all of these evaluations are done exactly how the IELTS examiners would do it, exactly based on the criteria set by the IELTS test. Similar to this will be the speaking evaluations. And this is the price range. Now, here's the catch. Only for tomorrow, right? And if you fill up the admissions form today, you will find that I have given you a period of 24 hours to avail a 10% discount. But if you enroll tomorrow and if you're able to get in, do these programs tomorrow, you will be getting a 20% discount on all of these programs, including basic, standard, or advanced. How much does the price come to? That will come to 1,250 here, 3,750 here, and 6,250 here. Okay, and the validity remains the same. All the other features remain the same. There's no change there. But this is valid only and only for tomorrow. Yeah, and you may be watching me on YouTube right now, and you may also be watching me on Zoom, but you will get alerts, you will get these reminders, but I'm just giving you a chance to fill the admissions form right now to get into the programs at their lowest fee. And you will still find that in the admissions form, you will have that 10% discount only. You will not have the 20% discount enabled right now. And all the payments are done through an external payment link, and then we will give you access to the app's resources separately. Yes. Quick questions that you may have. No other trainer. I'm the only trainer who handles the reviews. I have a team that handles my reviews, but that team is trained by me and their work is checked by me every day. And their efficiency is my responsibility. 3, who handles the doubts? I handle your doubts. Personally, I don't have any other person doing doubts on behalf of me, but I have a person to take care of the coordination part. But that's what it is basically. And also, will the reviews be good enough if they are not done one-on-one? Yes, they will be good enough. You can check out the success stories that are there on my YouTube channel. All of those students who scored a 7.5 or a 7 received their feedbacks over emails, and pretty much had just chat messages as interaction with me. They didn't do anything special to reach that place. Okay, so please check out the success stories. Please check out the programs if you want to on our application, and you may also check out the programs on the admissions form that I've sent to you on the chat. And people on YouTube may be wondering where this admissions form is. I will send that out as a message on YouTube as well. Yeah. So if you are watching me right now, I'm just pinning that chat, and yeah, you can fill up the admissions form. So we'll contact you tomorrow, asking you your preferences, asking you when you want to enroll and what your exam date is, all of that. Okay, yeah, right. If there's anything else specific to how the program goes about, how I teach, or anything about this class, I'm ready to take that for a couple of more minutes, and then I will wrap up. Okay, now I do not take live classes every day. Someone asked me that question. I do not take live classes every day. All I do every day is probably send you lessons on YouTube and give you a lot of insights on Instagram and YouTube. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am not doing live classes as we used to do earlier. But if you want to see me live, just stay tuned on my YouTube, or just check out my emails that we send, and you will receive an alert whenever I go live. Yeah, okay. But usually it's done once or twice a week. That's the average. If you're wondering how many times in a week, once or maximum twice. Yes, okay. All right. Any other questions that you have before I wrap up, either about the program or yeah. Please remember that these prices are valid effective May 10th of May, or a little earlier than that. Before that, the prices were much lower. So you may be wondering why the prices are high. We have increased our prices because we want to make sure that any student that comes to us benefits from the program. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just a minute more and I will wrap up. Now, in case you're looking for the admissions form, you may find that on every YouTube video of mine, and also on this YouTube video. When I update the description, I'll make sure that the admissions form is there. And yes, I will see you later then. Yes, what type of mode you have used for mock tests? For speaking, Palak, the mock tests happen offline. So you will be sending your recordings to our email ID based on a video that we have given to you. So in the form of a video, we have shot ourselves and we have created these mock tests. You will be recording your voice along with that video. That's how it is. Yes. All your apprehensions about how these happen, how that happens, we will clarify. If you're truly interested to get into the program tomorrow with 20% discount, you can fill up the admissions form. And I don't open these discounts every time. Okay. And this 10% discount will still be valid, but 20% from the original price is valid only for tomorrow, 24 hours from now. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes, Manbir, thank you so much for your entry. I will contact you tomorrow and we'll be able to help you understand everything about the program. Okay? Yeah. All right, then I will see you in another live class or in another lesson. Until then, you keep following me and make sure you interact with me just like this. Yes? All right. Bye-bye. Have a good night.